Hey y'all, Briley here. Thanks for tuning in for another video. Please, before we get into this video, please like and subscribe and share this with someone who you think might enjoy it. Today I'm filming basically a first impression of a fragrance that I got in the mail, but to be completely transparent, I want to make it clear that this was sent to me by Influencer. I haven't looked at all of like the rules in terms of what's required of me to even give this like a full review, but I figured because I want to get back into filming videos for my channel. It's been, about 4 years since I've had, several videos filmed. I know I just filmed my entire perfume collection, so I can't believe that I just got another fragrance in the mail after realizing that I don't need any more. But like, again, I had just signed up to be a part of this campaign with Influencer, and I completely forgot about it because it's been several weeks since I did that, and here, I'm being sent another fragrance in the mail, but I'm very grateful. So let's just get into it. So what the fragrance is DKNY 24/7. I have the little card here, kind of a cool, ad. I don't know who that is. I want to say that's Willow Smith. I'm not really sure, but I could be wrong. But anyway, before I open the container, open the box and, give it a sniff and spray it and try it, on the back here, it does give kind of like an overview of the fragrance. So it's got the top, the mid, and the dry notes. It's described as a textural, floral, woody musk, and it is an EDP, an eau de parfum, which I tend to prefer. There are some brands that, like Replica, for example, I wish their fragrances were EDPs, but they're all exclusively EDTs. I mean, there's a time and place for that. I respect it, I can appreciate it, but I tend to prefer EDPs because they stick around a little longer, they last, they project a little bit more, and you get to just enjoy the experience a little bit longer. So I'm glad this is an EDP. But let's talk about the notes from what is described here. So the top note is pink pepper, the mid note is rose centifolia, and the dry note or the base note is called upcycled cedarwood. So very interesting. It kind of sounds exactly like the fragrances that I enjoy. I love pepper, I love rose, and I love cedar, woody kinds of fragrances too. So I guess more information on the back just before we kind of dive in a little deeper. It says it's inspired by the spirit of the city and the individuals who embody its dynamic force. DKNY 24/7 is a tribute to those who live life with no limits, always ready, always on the move, and always on, just like DKNY in New York itself. So again, just kind of interesting. I kind of like when these fragrances, like how they're described, they all have a story. I love the branding, but let's jump in to the juice, the fun part. So again, really cool container. It's very modern, a big silver tube, needless to say. Again, DKNY 24/7 is what we're gonna be smelling today. This is the 3.4 fluid ounces, so it's the Big Daddy size. Again, it's an EDP, so it all says that here on the label. I don't know, just kind of cool packaging. I really like that, but from what I understand, it's basically a big hourglass. Again, very interesting packaging, kind of fun, kind of neat. Again, it's got the embossed, the DKNY here, and then the 24/7 on the other side. So again, very unique, very fun. I've never had any kind of container like this for my fragrances. So obviously the top comes off like that. And let's give it a sniff. I'm actually gonna spray it on the paper first, I think. Oh, if it's anything like it smells like on the lid, I know I already think it's gonna smell good, so. Oh, wow, oh my gosh, I already like it. Yeah, wow, that's pretty much almost exactly like I kind of imagined as it was described. So again, the top note is pink pepper, mid is rose centifolia, and then the dry is upcycled cedarwood. I wouldn't say it smells like rose. It does smell floral, but I actually wouldn't guess rose right away. Maybe like peony. I don't know if I would say pink pepper jumps out to me either. Maybe slightly woody, but really it's not like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe. Like, I feel like these three basic notes make it sound a lot more simple than it is, but to me it's a little more complicated than that. It smells like definitely sweet. If you don't like sweet fragrances, you won't like this. Very feminine. So again, I think that's why I think the woodiness, kind of like the way it's described in terms of upcycled cedar wood, I don't get a ton of that. There's an element of like depth. I mean, maybe with it saying it's like a dry note, maybe I can see that though. Yeah. The pink pepper I think is there. But there's something, like, I feel like there's something musky about it. Like, maybe that's what's kind of tripping me up. Like, there's something deeper, there's something a little more complex. Like, I wish they kind of gave a little bit more, like, more of the notes in the scent, like the other fragrances that they use to kind of formulate it. Because it smells a little more complicated than just, like, the kind of top, mid, and base, you know? But it does smell really good. Okay, so that's on the paper. Let's try it on my skin. I will say I've got, layered other stuff on. So I've got a mix of, I actually have it in front of me because it was in my bag and I'm switching my bag out. So I have a mix of the French, I still don't know how to say this brand, the Palo Santo Sage Perfume Oil. So it's very light. It's probably faded on me at this point. Yeah, I don't really smell it. I mean, I still smell like clean, but this is pretty much faded. It's pretty much gone. And I got a couple spritzes of a sample of Juliet Has a Gun Ode to Dullness, which I love that fragrance. But again, it's died down by now. I mean, I'm filming this at the end of a day, so I haven't like rinsed off or taken a shower yet. So I just kind of wore two very light scents for my work day today. So they didn't really stick around too long. So I think I kind of have a blank canvas, but kind of not. So just again, I'm here in the spirit of pure transparency. I want to give this a shot, but I think I'm going to spray it on my hand because I don't have anything on here. I've washed my hands throughout the day. Yeah, I don't have anything on there. So I think I'll go ahead and spray some of this just on my hand. Yeah, I like smell it in the air. Yeah, I guess I'll give that a little bit of a moment to dry down. But yeah, so overall, like I do like it. It's just very like different than, I mean, not completely different, but just more complicated than what at least the paper or the notes are described as. Something about it, like I smell other like berries. I smell like, again, like a depth or something, like again, like kind of like a musky note too. I'm sure it's more complex than just these three notes that they put on here. So yeah, okay, let's smell it on my head. Yeah, like when you spray it on your skin, like it definitely like blends very well, at least with my skin. Again, and I know I just sprayed it, but like, yeah, there's something deeper about this. There's something like a black currant or like a deeper, like a dark berry note to it. And something that makes it a little bit like musky, like again, a little bit more interesting, but a little more like a skin-like scent, but deeper, you know? Like maybe a way to describe it is like, again, it's very sweet, almost like syrupy. Like I'm trying to think like maybe like an elderberry flower like syrup, if I'm gonna go so far. But not like heavy. So it's deep but not heavy. Again, I know it's an EDP, but it's very light. It's very refreshing, but complex. So it's very interesting. I'm gonna be honest, I've never smelled anything like it before, but in a good way, and I really like it. I'm trying to think of like what occasion this would be good for. Maybe like if I'm thinking either daytime or nighttime, I would say you could probably do both. You could probably get away with both, but I lean towards nighttime for this one. So if you're trying to think of an aesthetic, if you're trying to think of a vibe or like a moment to kind of wear this, yeah, I would lean towards evening actually. And that's kind of not the, I mean, 24/7 is how it's described. So maybe like day and night, I guess, kind of blur together. It's like you can do anything, anytime, anywhere, you know, something like that. But again, going back to the packaging, I will say like, I love the hourglass concept. I really, truly love that. Yeah, it's like, yeah, there's a depth there, and it's a little more complicated than just what's described in terms of the notes on this card that I got. So yeah, I'm a fan. I know, like, I guess I'll just kind of leave it there, in terms of like my overall impression. It smells like sweet, like almost syrupy, but not too heavy. It is very light and like airy. Like it's not gonna like choke you out. It's not like I don't know, what's like an equivalent of something like really heavy, like, I don't know, like a YSL Black Opium, maybe, like that. I feel like that's kind of super heavy and like deep, dark, chocolatey, coffee, almost that kind of, it's not like that, but I'd say more of like You know how I would describe it? Almost like a vanilla ice cream sundae with like a jammy, like blackberry, like a blackberry jam on top of like vanilla ice cream. Like, yeah, I think that's kind of a way to describe it. It's not exactly the same, but because that pink pepper, I think I'm kind of getting that still. Maybe that's like the berry part of it, because I guess like pepper pods are, I guess, technically berries. And like, I think there is a slight woodiness there, but it's not masculine. Again, it's like a very dry, cedar, or a dry, what do they say here? Like a dry, yeah, upcycled cedar wood. So yeah, and again, I don't get rose. I do get floral, but I wouldn't, like rose wouldn't jump out to me. I think it's more like a peony, like just some kind of like pink flower. Yeah. And again, on the skin, definitely like I get some kind of musky note, but not too animalic. It's not too masculine. This is very feminine. If you're kind of more of like a girly girl, you definitely can wear this. But anyway, again, like I said, I'll just leave it there. Take that for what you will. If you guys want a link to this, I'm going to try to link it. Just again, out of transparency, I'm going to go ahead and call this sponsored or an ad, because again, it was sent to me. I'll give you guys a link to, if I can find this. I'm still kind of new to this like linking game, the whole sponsored ad game. Again, I don't want to deceive anybody. Like if you click on a link to purchase something that I link, I try to link things that I'll get a commission code off of. If you want to support me, great, thank you, I appreciate it. But if you don't, I also understand. That's totally fine. I'm just here to share the things that I like, and this fragrance is one of them. I'll even link, like if you want to know more about like my makeup today, I'll link what I'm wearing today on my face and my skin. And I'll link, if you want, the Ashley Tisdale Frenchie line, the Palo Santo Sage Perfume Oil, I'll share that as well. Again, I shared a ton of stuff in my recent fragrance collection, so you'll see that there. If you want more information on the notes and how I feel about it, go check out that video. I just posted it, so it was one of my more recent videos. So again, I appreciate you guys and your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I hope you guys take care of yourselves. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.